this lesson we're going to cover how to use the melodic style, which is that approach of cross-string playing, but using blues scales in the melodic style for the keys of G, C, D for all your popular tunes, as well as the keys of E and A. So basically, pretty much any song that you encounter in a jam, you'll have some really cool bluesy licks to throw in. Let's get started. Alright, our first melodic style blues lick is in G, surprise, surprise, and we're starting with an open 5th string, and we're taking what I call the blackberry blossom position, where you normally have a finger on the 2nd string at the 10th fret and then a finger over here on the D string, the 9th fret, right? And we're going to move that up 1 fret. So now we're pressing at 11 and 10. And then we reach over with the middle finger. Here's our disclaimer. Some folks like to thumb that 5th string like this. That's fine if you want to do that. We're going to opt for this because that's the way we were trained. But if you wish to thumb that, that's doable. We're going to be fingering it with the middle finger, FYI. So basically you're going to get that position. You're going to play the start of the roll on the 5th string. Reach over, grab that 11, and then pop the pinky down here at the 12. And that basically tops off the first half of our mini scale here, which is a really great lick any way you cut the cake. It's got a great sound to it. Right? And then we're going to come back down. Beautiful. So our first practice fragment will be from that open G at the beginning of measure 1, playing up the scale, and coming back down and landing on that G at the beginning of measure 2. Ready? Get your position after the count of 2. 1, 2. Again, 1, 2. Beautiful. One more time. 1, 2. And that's a great one to have in your pocket. If you're picking along, you find yourself up here, you've got this right at the tip of your fingers. So that's part of learning these licks, is to assimilate them into your everyday playing. Then for the second half of our G blues lick, we're going to come back down that little scale and then shift down over here to the 6th fret on the B string, right? And then move down to this classic blues position with a C note here and then the ring finger over here at the 3rd fret on the G string. And then we land on a G. Now, a brief discussion of our landing notes. You'll see each of the landing notes have a parentheses around them in the tab. That's because we're just giving you one suggested landing note. It doesn't mean you can't land somewhere else. Let's say we're playing this particular lick to go to the key of C. Then we would land on a C note as opposed to that G. You could possibly even go to a D after this. So once again, keeping your options open. Remember, these licks are designed to move from any chord. You need them to at a moment's notice. We have to give you a certain example, so that's why we put the parenthesis notes at the end of the lick. Now, we're going to play that whole lick together after the count of 2. Get your first position here ready. 1, 2. Very nice. Let's try that again. 1, 2. Beautiful. Rewind that as much as you need. Get some flight time on that so it becomes a smooth flow and you're not too concerned with the fingering. Alright, let's have some fun with these licks. That's the whole point after all, right? So let's say for the first blues lick in G, what we're going to do is assume you have a song that goes G, C, back to G, D, just like about every other bluegrass song in the universe. So let's say you were playing a lead to that. You might be playing regular Scruggs style over the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, G, here's the D, there's our G lick. put in that blues lick in the second half of our lead, right? Now we could also start right out the gate with that lick as well. Let's say you're playing along in that standard bluegrass progression, which by the way is the same as Bury Me Beneath the Willow and 12,000 other songs. It would be like this: G, C, and you're picking back up while the mandolin player is going crazy or whatever. And your lead's coming up next, so you've got your lick poised. Here we go, heads up. Picking, here we go. Whatever, you're going to continue to play your lead. But the cool thing about that example is you came out of the gate with this G blues lick. Okay? It's also a great way to kick off a song as well. So let's say you're going to play a faster bluegrass song, and instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4 in, you could say, hey, I've got a 2-measure kickoff, and it's going to be like this. And as soon as you hit that G note in measure 3, the song is started. So that's a great way to start a song. Let's say we were going to kick it off in that fashion. It would sound like this. Right? So the whole band's going to come in basically after those 2 measures. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on and so forth. So once again, this G blues lick is really useful for kickoffs. You can use it for inside the song. You can use it to land the break. These licks are really, really useful. They're the building blocks of banjo improvisation, basically, until you move on crazy stuff like single string style, where everything is pretty much just a note by itself without any filler. So let's give you a chance to practice this G blues lick to start off your solo. For example, we're going to count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to play the lick. But as soon as you get to that open G note in measure 3, you're going to have your C chord already there, and that G note right here is the beginning of a C roll. Okay? And then you're going to play the rest of your solo. So we don't want to hold you by the hand all the way. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to play the lick, and then we're going to keep the backup going, and you're going to finish out the rest of one break, which will be C, and then G, and then D. G, so like that. So basically we're going to give you the lick, and then we're going to play backup for you from the C chord back to the G, and here's the D. We're going to stop there because by then you're launched into your solo. Alright? So let's play it together. And then as soon as we're done with that lick, we're going into backup, and you keep the Scruggs style going. After 2. 1, 2. Very nice. Now that you get the idea, let's try that again. After 2. As soon as you're done with that lick, start picking the banjo. 1, 2. Very awesome.